Say a thought leader is somebody who is extending the thinking in their field. So a little bit like a PhD, the job of somebody doing a PhD is to take the body of knowledge, be across it, and then extend it in some direction, and a thought leader needs to do that. The three elements we say of the job of running a thought leader's practice are think, sell and deliver. So got to be able to do all of those, got to be able to come up with some ideas, be able to have an effective sales conversation, and then stand up on a stage and talk, run a coaching conversation, run a training program. Yeah, there's a lot of people who say, I really love coming up with the ideas and I actually love the delivery, it's just the sales bit I don't like. Is there maybe I could get somebody else in to do that? And there's a couple of myths in this game. One is this idea of build it and they'll come. So some people think, oh well, maybe I can just build a fabulous website and learn internet marketing and get a list and then I'll never actually have to sell. And that doesn't work. And the second one is I can hire somebody else in and do it, and I've never seen that work. I've worked with thousands of people running thought leaders practices and I've never seen that work either. So my general answer is, if this is what you want to do, you're going to have to get over that and learn how to be effective at selling and love selling. And the way to do that for somebody who doesn't see themselves as a salesperson is to take selling from this kind of icky, how can I get your money, into how can I serve you? And make every sales conversation an act of service with an invitation at the end. I think we often have making a difference and making money as an either or proposition, and so people are generally messed up when it comes to money. We're all dysfunctional around money, and so there's lots of people who say, well, I actually want to make a difference. I'm not that motivated by money. And what we try to do is to say, okay, no, let's not have it as an either or, but how do you do both? And actually have it be so kind of integral to it that the money is almost a measure of the difference that you make, and that you don't ask for money unless you're going to make a much bigger difference for that. And one of the things we say, our programs are not personal development, but definitely running a thought leader's practice is a personal development journey. And I think to be successful, everybody has got to overcome our conversations in our head, that little voice that says I'm not good enough, that little voice that says I don't deserve this, and our dysfunction around money. And whatever it takes to do that, to be successful in this game, you need to overcome all three of those personal things, which I think we all have to a greater or lesser extent. Not good enough. So that was a core issue right from the start. But I'd say all of them, money too. My mum's a psychiatrist, doctor, my dad's a teacher, so they're both public service and both obviously doing good in the world. And mum wanted me to do medicine and I studied law because I wasn't going to do what my mum told me to do. But then when I started business, I had this subconscious need to show my mum that I was still doing good in the world. So my business coaching business was called Love Your Business. And my stated aim was to put more love into business. And I was doing that rather than making money. Not consciously, but if I look back now, I spent 10 years running this business called Love Your Business. that was out to, at one level, show my mum I'm actually still a good person, even though I'm in business and I'm kind of gone to the dark side. I'm still doing good in the world, and I did that, and I took that as a currency instead of making money. And so for a decade I didn't make much money. Yeah, it's one of the differences between a business and a practice. It's somebody who runs a business. The idea is that you set up systems that somebody else can follow and replace yourself. In a thought leader's practice, or someone who's a solopreneur, the business is about you. My business is petercook.com. There isn't anybody else who's going to come in and buy that from me. And I'm not trying to exit myself. So an entrepreneur is somebody who's playing the game of start, grow and sell a business. Ideally, for a lot of like figures, in 3 to 7 years. A solopreneur is somebody who's in it themselves for the duration. This idea of a practice versus a business, when I came across Matt Church and this thought leader's methodology, I kind of went, so many mistakes that I've made along the first 10 years that I wouldn't have if I had known this. But on the other hand, I kind of don't actually wish that I'd known it, because I wouldn't have, a lot of the mistakes that I've made have actually helped me get where I am, lost a whole lot of money that has now helped me help other people not do that. So yeah, so I actually wouldn't change anything, and a lot of the painful bits now help me kind of help other people. But definitely it would have been a different journey if I'd come across that earlier.